There are quite a few options out there if you're looking to add a bike light to your mountain bike. I started off with simple Cree flashlights that take AA batteries mounted on my handlebars. I quickly outgrew those though. Last year, I bought a Lumina 900 Boost by NiteRider, but after I purchased it, I found out that it had a narrow spot pattern, and while it did a good job of filling in the dark spots on my dawn rides, I decided that this year I wanted to go ahead and purchase a floodlight. I ended up purchasing the Macro Drive 1300 XXL by Lezyne. Now, because both these lights are priced less than $100 and within $10 of each other, I thought I'd do a comparison. The Lezyne Macro Drive came nicely packaged in a reusable plastic storage box. I managed to find the loaded version for the same price as the basic version, so I received some additional accessories including a remote switch and a couple of different mounting options. Everything was well packaged and organized. I will definitely reuse this packaging for storage. The light itself, it's well made out of machined aluminum and siliconized rubber for the handlebar strap. This manufacturer advertises 2 hours and 30 minutes of operation at the highest output. We're going to test that. Because I purchased the Lumina 900 a year ago, I don't have the original packaging and I can't remember what accessories it came with. What I have now is the handlebar strap and the light itself. The NiteRider is well made. It's held up really well after a year of use. The manufacturer claims that the NiteRider gets an hour of operation at the highest output, and it shows no loss of performance after a year, and we'll get to that later. The NiteRider mount uses a rubber strap. The mounting point allows you to remove the light without removing the mount. I really like that feature. The Lezyne uses a rubber strap for mounting also, but you can't remove the light without removing the strap like you can with the NiteRider. I was eager to see if the lights could match the manufacturer's advertised performance for operation, so I set up a test rig to see how long each flashlight would run. Once fully charged, I turned both lights on the maximum setting. The Lumina 900 Boost indicated red at 1 hour. At 1 hour 13 minutes, it reduced its light output, beating its advertised operation of 1 hour by 13 minutes. At 1 hour and 27 minutes, the Lumina turned itself off, but the Lezyne was still running strong. At 1 hour 54 minutes, the Lezyne indicated red, and at 2 hours 19 minutes, the Lezyne began flashing red and reduced its output. The Lezyne did not match its advertised 2 hours 30 minutes runtime at maximum output. In the end, the Lezyne ran another hour at reduced output before I just turned it off. Now, something interesting happened to me during testing. The Lezyne kept failing and going into a low power mode at about 7 minutes, and it took me a little while to figure out, but I figured out that the light was overheating and it was dropping into a low power mode in order to protect itself. So in order for the Lezyne to make it through the test, I had to set up a fan in order to cool the light off for it to run that whole duration. This might be something for you to consider if you're going to be riding a little bit slower, maybe in some hotter climates. So definitely something to be aware of if you're thinking about the Lezyne. Now, I think the NiteRider did a better job at heat dissipation. Even though it read hotter on the outside, I think it's because it was pushing heat out through those deep grooves in the side. Having purchased the Lezyne specifically to use it as a floodlight, I really wanted to test its beam pattern. And I used the opportunity of a foggy morning to capture some video of the brightness and the beam pattern in its sweeping. Those images didn't turn out quite like I would like, so I set up a test rig in the garage. The test rig I set up in my garage was 15 feet from a reflector, and I used a square to take angle readings for each light. For the NiteRider, you reach the edge of its coherent beam at 25 degrees. Now, at 45 degrees, there is almost no light output from the sides of the NiteRider. On the other hand, the Lezyne tapers very gradually to the side, having usable light well past 60 degrees and maybe all the way out to 90 degrees. What I found in my testing is that there's a huge performance difference between these two lights that are only separated by about $10 in price. Between these two lights, I would recommend the Lezyne light first as your first bike light. You're going to want to start out with a flood and then maybe add a spot later. I accidentally bought the spot first, but now that I have both, I'm going to use both of them on the trail. Now that I have a flood and a spot, I bought a $10 adapter for the NiteRider to put it on my helmet. If you do this, make sure that you're pointing that spotlight just a little bit down, and here's why. Watch as I follow Will into this tight corner and look at how where I'm looking is lit and where the bar light is pointed. The spotlight on my helmet adds that little bit of fill that I need for those extra sharp corners. Having a combined 2,200 lumens projected in front of me is a fantastic experience, and I know that it's going to open up all kinds of opportunities for riding as the winter months drag on. Well, I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments what you're using, and also let me know if I've missed anything in this review. Later.